Voltron Network.
So, shall we begin?
You are now tuned into Talking at the Movies with your hosts, Eddie, Salim, and Mo.
Let's go. Hello, folks.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to Talking at the Movies. I'm Eddie Reese Antonio.
I'm your sleepy Salim today.
And I'm Mo.
Good, guys. We're back on Zoom again. It's nice to see your faces once again. Salim, you look like you were being assaulted. You look like you've been assaulted. What has happened? You look terrible.
Yeah, I was sleeping because I'm fasting, and then you guys, like, my phone was completely going on. Hurry up! What's going on? Where's Salim? And then I thought, all right, I've got to sort myself out. So I got out of it. I was having a lovely dream, Eddie. I was having a
your
really
alarm
nice...
for like 5-2 or 10 minutes.
Hold on. Isn't sleeping cheating?
No? Why is sleeping cheating?
You're supposed to be like suffering.
What are you talking about?
The sacrifice.
Doesn't this look like a face that's been sacrificed?
No,
What's sacrificing?
It seems like a face that's been sleeping.
Yeah, sleeping through the arms, they don't count. Everyone does that.
What? Since when are you two Muslims?
Terrible.
What do you
Wait a minute, hold on. I'm kind of a Muslim.
Don't even raise your hand. Mate, listen.
My name's Mohammed.
Listen.
True.
If I was God and you were in that queue, right?
I'd fucking help us if you were God.
Oh, it's Mo here. Mo, what religion are you? You say, I'm Muslim. I would say, mate, there is not a Muslim act in you that allows you to go through.
There's the guy who cheats his fast.
He's more Muslim than you are.
Come on, we ain't got you for long, so let's get into this before
Right,
you have to disappear. So, guys, it's good. Another week. Let's get straight into what we've been watching.
I won't be long. I've literally just been frigging watching Star Trek, Generation.
There.
Have a go at him. Whenever I say I'm watching Star Trek, you're like, I'm not interested. This is not a Star Trek podcast, but I'm interested in having a conversation with you. I'm interested in hearing about what episodes you've been watching.
Dude, you said to me, look, it's really hard. It's really difficult to get into season 1 and season 2. You didn't say difficult. It's just about for tricky watch, right? I don't have any problems with this, man. The issue I do have is why the fuck doesn't nobody listen to Wesley Crusher? Wesley Crusher.
Kid.
Huh?
He's a kid. Who's you listen seriously to a kid?
Dude,
who's got terrible fashion sense as well.
But he's the
Why are you
one.
wearing jumpsuits? What do you mean?
But he's the one who freaking knows everything. Now, I'm going to tell you something else, right? For some reason, I think I might be a tad bit gay because I can't get my eyes.
Finally, that's not a surprise, Salim. We've been saying that for years.
I can't get my eyes off young number one
Without the beard.
without the beard. I think to
I was
myself,
going to be worried,
damn.
like, dude.
huh?
I thought you were into say you were into Wesley, like that.
Oh, no.
That's where this whole conversation was going. You're like you young boys.
I'm just saying, friggin' heck.
You hang around with your nephew so much.
Young, what's his name, Mo?
Riker.
Right.
Will Riker.
Is bloody good looking.
So there's a saying that goes that the show.
Just like, what the fuck has happened to these guys?
So there's a saying that goes that the show only gets good when Riker grows a beard. But I'll send you a YouTube video after this where basically it has like the Riker maneuver, right? There's someone's edited all the times. He goes up to a chair, turns it round, and sits down on it like the wrong way round.
Yeah,
it's quite a fun little video. Could like see how many times he's actually done it.
because I haven't been, obviously. This is the first time I'm watching it from the very beginning. It's almost as if he's like my Jerry Ryan.
Oh god. Oh my god. What is happening?
But anyway, moving on. So I'm thoroughly enjoying that. Moving on. I've also started to watch season 2 of Unfortunate Events. The chain of what's it called?
That
that
a Lickety Slimmet or something, was it?
yeah. Yeah,
It's not a
that
chain of unfortunate events. It's called something else.
A series of
Yeah,
unfortunate events.
Sean Patrick Harris.
Yeah. You know what? It's not bad. The thing that is actually really, really good about this show is his bloody performance as my brain's fried again. But yeah,
Did you ever watch the film?
yes. I love Jim Carrey's performance in that.
How does it compare to Jim Carrey? I've never watched this. I don't think I've even watched I think I have watched the film, but I never watched the show. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, I do understand what you mean by that. It has a really weird style to it to actually make you want to continue watching it. You've got to kind of force yourself, but it's not bad. It's got some really funny jokes in it and really funny lines. How is he compared to the performance with Jim Carrey? It's Jim Carrey's Jim Carrey. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's like awesome in a lot of things that he does with that style. But Neil Patrick Harris is equally, I think, as good. If you told me to select one, I couldn't. I'll have to go back to the original performance of Jim Carrey to sort of get a feel for which one's better. But yeah,
high praise.
Well, it's not high. It's just his performance is very good, but it's an okay show, and I think.
Why are you watching it then when there's so much other good stuff to watch?
Oh, man, I'm just a weird person. I'm watching like the best show on TV, Star Trek.
But it's not on TV anymore.
Well, all right. I'm watching one of the best shows ever made.
You probably never really watched The Next Gen, right? You've probably seen like some episodes, but you've probably never seen like the whole series.
With me?
Yeah.
Oh, Salim.
Oh, me. Yeah. So I'm loving this.
He probably thought of Next Gen as like that old bald guy.
Really? So I've probably watched more than you then, Salim. I pretty much have seen all of it. Even though I'm not a Trekkie fan, but there's nothing else to watch, so I always watch them.
Yeah. But it's got some weird episodes, man. Anyway, I'll leave you guys to it. I know we're in a rush, so that's what I've been watching.
Okay. Mo. So we can save the Extraction review.
Do we save? I'm taking it, Salim. You didn't watch Extraction?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
With Thor.
No, I was going to, but I didn't watch it.
Right. Should we? Okay. We'll save that for like the later on then. Right. So.
Oh no. My turn.
Is it your turn? Okay then.
Okay. So. Okay. Beyond this Extraction, we're gonna get to. I caught up with Harley Quinn.
The
it was a show that we would watch when we would hang out together, but because that's not going to happen now, probably ever again. We're never going to meet again. We're never going to see each other.
It will.
We're never.
In the next life.
So I watched an episode recently as well of that.
Well, season 2 started. It's about 3 episodes in, so I had to just catch all the way through for a DC versus Marvel podcast. Check that out, guys. Doing our review. But it's still really fun. It's still a fun show, and they actually had this Mr. Freeze centric episode, and it's the first time since I think in the original animated Batman show where we get to see the heartfelt heartache of the Mr. Freeze character, because it was always he was doing what he was doing for his wife, who was terminally ill, and she was frozen. So everything he would do, all the messed up things he would do, would be to find a way to save her. But they finally got back to that, and it kind of made me think that. I want Mr. Freeze again in the movie, because if he's done right with a good actor and good writing, he could steal the show from Batman, because he's such the heartache he has to go through, to what he has to sacrifice for his wife. So good.
Sounds like you're really enjoying it.
That character, yeah.
Wait. When you say that character, what about the rest?
In that episode, stuff's good, but this one really stood out to me because.
And that's in season 2, is it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Still fun, and Clayface, dude. So
Clayface.
There's one episode where they have to go to college, and Clayface basically poses as a college girl, a teenage girl. Yeah. And he's so into. You know how he is. He's so into his role. Where he's just going on dates with guys and all that. Rather than do the mission, he's going on dates with guys. He's in a sorority. Too funny, man. So
I saw the episode where he lost his hand, and his hand made a relationship with Gordon, because Gordon felt like a bit left out, that Batman wasn't like his friend anymore. Yeah, so he became Clayface's hand's best buddy, which is like It sounds insane, but yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah, it's worth checking out. It's a surprise because when I first saw it, I hated it. I thought this was the dumbest thing,
Do
the
you miss
dumbest
us?
show. But
Do you
now
miss
I'm
us?
actually
Do
enjoying
you
it.
miss like looking right and more right? Because that's how you sit. You sit here, and I sit here, and then at most it's there. So do you miss us not being there? Because this was our show that we used to watch
Well,
together.
it is a show that benefits from having
Yeah.
that group experience. But what can you do?
I'll have to start watching it again. That and Vice Principals is something that I haven't touched.
That's another one.
Vice Principals. Don't you dare touch that.
Well, we're gonna wait a year,
No.
or till the afterlife when we're all dead.
The show's been off the air for like a couple of years, so you haven't watched it in all that time.
Exactly.
No, I'm not waiting.
Don't worry, you can watch all that Star Trek.
You know what we've forgotten, or I've forgotten at least. You might not have. Freaking Black Monday's still been going on.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting till it's done so I can just like binge it like in one like evening.
I literally just remembered the other day that, oh my God, they're like 7 episodes in or something. It's like, what? Yeah, got to get back to that.
Yeah. So I think there's probably I think there might only be 8 episodes this season actually.
Oh, okay.
I think potentially, or maybe that's what they've listed on IMDb, but that's on top of my watch list as soon as they're all available.
I'm gonna bloody pass you a hard drive then, because I really want to watch that.
You're gonna have to like basically pass it in a medical bag, right? You're gonna have to sit outside.
It'd be fine. I was at the hospital. Everything is fine.
Yeah, that's even worse. You go to the hospital, okay, you get corona while you're there.
Incubation, Salem, 2 weeks. You don't know. You could be riddled right now. Literally, there's nothing inside. It's riddled. 2 weeks to show up.
The nurse told me everything that's been happening. In actual fact, she even
Their
said
job to comfort you. She's not going to tell you you're dead.
Anyway,
All good.
is that all you've been watching?
No, one other thing. Because we're watching Extraction, which me and Mark are going to talk about in a little bit, which was produced. It wasn't directed. We're wrong about that. It wasn't directed by the Russos, but it's produced by them. I think it was another film that the Russos produced straight after Endgame. That's 21 Bridges with Chadwick Boseman.
Yep.
Dude, you guys get a chance to watch it. Check it out because it's fucking good.
What, 21 Bridges?
Yeah. It's fucking good, man. It's really good. It's on Amazon Prime right now.
I didn't go watch that because I originally thought you had seen it and you didn't like it.
No, I haven't seen it. I only saw it. Okay. Yeah, no, it's really good. It's real tense. It's I'm not even gonna break down the plot. Just watch it. Just trailer show tells you everything you want, but it's tense. It's edge of your seat, craziness. No, I just really enjoy it. Go check it out. Good crime, decent action as well. Even though the director isn't really known for action, but really good. Go check it out, man. I'll give that a solid 4.
Oh,
right, cool.
And Chadwick with a proper voice. It reminds me how much I hate his Black Panther voice because it's so like high and high pitch. But when he talks normally, he's got bass. He sounds like a man now, and I like him again as an actor.
Is he? Is he like how Riker is for me? It's like because the way that you're talking about him, it's like really into him. Because the way you just said it, you said he has a high pitch,
respect,
like it,
but
when
lust.
he speaks like a man, that's something.
With you, it's like lust. It's about respect. Manner and manner of respect. That's different.
I don't know, man, Eddie. I've known you for a long time.
Salim,
yeah.
Is this because you haven't been outside for a long time and been on a date? Now you're looking at
This what happens like when men go to prison and they go gay. Speak for the state. You're gay for the quarantine stay.
No, like for me, I look at like the older newsreaders and I'm like, wow, she's like looks really attractive.
Beyond that, yeah, it's pretty much it. Yeah.
No?
Is it my turn? Right, I got a few props. So Saturday, I watched this little gem.
Oh, okay.
Heart of Dragon, Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung. You've probably not seen this one, right? Because it's essentially...
Oh, unless it had a different name when it came out.
Yeah, that's
right. It did actually. So this is the actual Hong Kong name. When it came out here, it was called First Mission.
Wait, did we ever...
You've probably not seen this one because this is more of a drama than an action. But
this is the one where Samuel's mentally disabled.
Yeah, and he is such a good actor. You actually really believe that he's mentally disabled. He does that good a job. the first half of the film is really good, right? Because it's really about Jackie like struggling to look after his brother, wants to go off, become a sailor, almost tries to con his girlfriend into getting married to him so he can leave her at home with his brother. The second half, you can tell yeah, no, literally. The second half, the studio obviously got a little bit worried and basically turned it into an action film. So it goes from like this really nice, sweet tale of like essentially the Hong Kong Rain Man without the Rain Man bit, to being an action movie. So it is a film of two parts, but I really liked this film. I really, really liked it. I would give this a 4.5.
Really?
Yeah. It was seeing Jackie really act like he goes through this whole like he feels guilty about trying to abandon his brother. He cries. He tries to be the good guy. He tries to be like the good guy at work. It's just seeing all of these sort of like his acting ability was really stretched in this one.
Yeah, I think I only saw this once. I don't really remember much about it except for the Samo thing.
Yeah. I really, really liked it. Really check it out if you can. I haven't watched these ones, but these all just turned up in the post today. Like some of Jackie Chan's like really
Dragon
early
Fist.
movies.
Yeah.
Dragon Fist, To Kill with Intrigue,
Not seen that one.
Snake and Crane, Art of Shaolin. These are like his really old 70s films. And this is like his first American one, Battle Creek Brawl.
Yeah. Why did you go to the shitty American ones?
Yeah, why
So-
do you like...
Just to complete the collection here. No, I listened to Quentin Tarantino on that Pure Cinema podcast the other day, and he spent 2 hours talking about kung fu films I had never heard of. And now I want to go on a kung fu binge. I want to watch 36 Chambers of Shaolin. I want to watch the fifth.
Netflix.
Yep. 5 Element Ninjas.
Yeah, but I think that's on Amazon or Netflix.
Yeah. It's on both. A lot of those old ones are there. So I'll probably be doing reviews of those over the coming weeks. But Sunday night, I watched this little gem.
Red Heat.
Red Heat. Do you remember this? You know what? So I posted this on Twitter saying, considering who's in this movie, the movie was not as funny as I would expect it to have Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jim Belushi. Two guys that are really known for like their comedy roles. It was quite a serious movie. There are quite a few funny bits.
Had Schwarzenegger done comedy at that point?
So apparently Twins came out around about the same time. So that's one of the things that they go, this didn't make a lot of money, but Twins absolutely did. So I think I don't know if it was the same time, but it's definitely the same year. Akila did point out when I posted on Twitter, there are a couple of moments towards the end, and I had to admit that it is quite funny, but it is a very serious kind of film. It's not a bad film by any stretch of the imagination, but it's forgettable.
Yeah, but was it supposed to be funny?
No, it's more of a... Belushi has his little sarcastic things, but it is... But Schwarzenegger is more of a serious Russian...
You know what it reminded me of? This is like the precursor to Rush Hour, because you've got the mouthy American cop and you've got like the serious business guy who's come from another country, and they're partnering them together. But like, whereas in Rush Hour, the two characters really had like real chemistry, and these two, you were kind of like, well, okay, it's done.
Is this the movie that had the sauna fight?
Yeah, right at the beginning, you see all like the naked chicks, and you're like, "This is definitely an '80s action movie, right?" And yeah, he gets that stone that's on the fire or whatever, and he puts it in Schwarzenegger's hands and wraps his hand around it. Yeah, I'll give it a 3. Not bad, not great, but watchable. And the only other thing was Extraction, which we'll talk about later.
Oh, you want to leave it late? You don't want to jump into it now?
Let's talk about it right now. Let's do it now.
Good.
Jesus, Salim, you got to watch this film.
Wait.
Salim, you liked the John Wick films.
Yeah.
You enjoy those. This is basically John Wick. It's basically that setup. It's just a simple story. They just give you an excuse for this one guy to just murder the entire country worth of individuals. It's so many people.
You know, that first 10 minutes, I'm playing with my phone. I'm thinking, I'm not really going to enjoy this film. The minute that first action sequence starts, you're like, all right, rewind back, watch that again. Did he just, what the fuck?
Crazy.
Well, that's when he's on the bridge, right?
No.
The bridge is at the end.
Yeah, that's the end.
At the beginning, where he's like looking back.
So at the beginning, basically, there's the bit where he gets not kidnapped, but he basically is taken blind. They put the thing over his head and they
Yes,
take him somewhere.
that this
That
kid
he's got the money and
right.
all that sort of stuff. And it's that bit where the guy literally gets the gun and he holds it at Chris Helmsworth's head and he pulls the trigger and he goes, "I like this guy. He's crazy. He didn't even blink."
Yeah, the car chase. It's correct. Apparently, the director, what's his name?
Sam. What is it? It's Sam Aldrich. Is it? Hold on. It's Sam Hargrave.
Hargrave. Yeah, he's a stunt. He was a former stuntman.
Yeah, he's a
stunt
former
director.
stuntman. Yeah.
You can tell. Just like with John Wick, those guys were stunt guys. So it's the same. You can just every crazy trick, like the car chases, were just insane. Some of the shit they were doing.
Just getting the knife and just repeatedly stabbing the guy in the neck, not like once or twice, but literally just going.
Just the way people done it. Man.
The rake.
Oh
yeah. The way you can kill a person with a rake.
Just any which way, man.
So
you cheated yourself. This is a good film.
Well, no, I will watch it. It's I actually didn't know that you were going to watch it, Eddie.
I text you guys on Saturday saying it's there. Watch it.
I like the trailer, so why wouldn't I have watched it, knowing that we're going to review it on our movie?
I you were going to watch it, but I actually, funny enough, I started this film. I started it, so I was going to watch it, but for some bizarre reason, Star Trek just took preference. Riker.
I get that. I get that when you've watched a bunch of something, you're in a certain headspace.
Not just that.
You want to adjust to watching something else. You want to get back into that groove.
Yeah. The other thing is that just seeing my poor fellow Indian people dying just didn't make me feel right. Like,
no, did you not see how evil the bad guy was? He was just like evil for the sake of being evil.
Yeah. If they're all justified. Oh, that other guy, we can't. I don't want to really ruin it for Salem, but the guy who kind of hides the other special forces Indian guy.
Well, yeah, not him. I'm talking about like the big boss. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He turns out to be pretty cool, man.
Yeah. But the person who steals the show to me, and I think I might be in love now, was I can't even pronounce her name. It's Golshifty Farhani. She is absolutely beautiful.
What's that? She must have been in.
Oh yeah, she's been in other films. No, she's Iranian. She's not Indian.
Iranian. Okay.
Yeah, so she's been in American movies.
Yeah, she got a nice face. I like her eyebrows.
Yeah, if you go and see pictures of her, like they actually really play down her looks in this movie. But when she's just got that shotgun, man, and she's just keeping her cool when everyone is losing their heads, literally.
Yeah, she is cool. I like it. They didn't really get too much into that history of those two, but they do tease that they had a little past going on there.
So this whole thing takes place in India from start to.
There's a little bit in Australia where Chris Hemsworth is checking out.
Yeah, drinking a beer, literally, and jumping off a cliff. But once he gets going, all in India, yeah.
Do you know how the Indians are taken at the moment?
Probably start thinking, there's white man's coming in here and shooting all us Indian people?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I don't know. That's for you. You're the expert, Salam. You're the cultural expert that should be reporting to us.
I will give you my fasting review soon.
No, but I mean, what's Indian Twitter talking about in terms of this movie?
I should have, literally, honestly, guys, I should have watched this film. I feel really crappy now because I know that you guys want to get into it, but I will check it out and give you my thoughts on what a few other Indians think about it.
I will say, so I was having this discussion with on Twitter with Akila, because it sounds like she absolutely loves like mindless action movies. And I did say it's a great action film, but there is zero character development story type thing. You don't watch that for the story.
Best action film, to be honest.
Yeah. You are. Well, I don't know, man. John Wick, like you really fell for
no
John Wick.
Character development. You just
But like this guy, I really did not care whether he lived or where he didn't. And I just realized we can't actually talk about the end right now either.
No.
The only thing about John Wick when it comes down to development was his dog.
It's all about the dog.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did Akila like it then?
She hasn't watched it yet. I did ask her to report back when she's watched it.
I'm very interested. Yes, and let us know what your friends think as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but the tweet I put up about the actress, I was really surprised at the amount of retweets and likes and stuff that thing attracted. Yeah, so she's generating a lot of buzz.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
All right, guys. Would you give it out of 5?
I would
3.5.
say it's a 3.5.
I'm gonna go
3.5.
4 purely for the action.
Really?
I
I
just,
think
I just
if I
love the visual style of it. I just really
Yeah.
enjoyed.
if I was to rate it just for action, not as a movie,
Yeah, like
absolutely a 4.
when we watch Jackie Chan films, we're not watching for the story. We don't give a shit. We just want to see the cool action.
Well, that's what we said last week. Like all Jackie Chan films should be 4 stars.
Yeah,
5 stars. Because you're watching it purely for the action.
Yeah. Same with the John Wicks. For me, this is just a very cool action film, which you don't get that much of nowadays. That are just full on. 4 stars from me. Thumbs up. I want to see what else this director does.
Yeah, but absolutely.
Definitely. So, news?
Should we get into news? I won't do it in the order that's here. I'll do the ones that are applicable to
Well,
Salem.
actually, no, you're right. As part of the what's watching, now that we've got Salem, what we've watched, let's just get Westfield out of the way.
Westfield out of the way. Yeah, Westworld.
Westfield?
I call it Westfield.
Westworld ain't happening.
Yes, episode 7.
Yeah.
3. So, Salem, let's get your thoughts.
Yeah. All right. So, like I've always said this, I'm loving this. I can't get enough. I'm just wish that they had just dropped. Well, they can't, but altogether, if they did, I think they would have watched this whole show in one piece. I love everything about it. I just I thought to myself, okay, this show is a bit this episode is a bit slow, but then obviously it's a build up and then you get to the crazy action bit, which I loved the way they did.
This one was more just kind of explaining the background stuff of why things are going on.
The one, if I do have any qualms with it, I felt that the flashbacks were way too much, and they were like constantly. They didn't need to keep him going back in that same style where they're not basically telling you exactly what happened, but they keep him going back to that bit, and they don't tell you what happens. But apart from that, man, I'm in love with this show, man. I really do like it. You know,
Obviously love the show. My only issue with this episode is the whole they pulled a Death Star card, as in there was one Death Star.
Yeah.
Then we found out there was another Death Star, or they remade another one after they blew up the next one. With this, they did the same with the computer.
I think you get to a point where
you see the Delios computer. Now it turns out there's another slightly crazy version of it in a warehouse.
That's another thing. Sometimes it feels like, an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you... no, I'll explain.
Westworld to Yu-Gi-Oh!
No. For me, it does. For me, sometimes where it's almost as if there's a story, we understand the story, and then that really shouldn't get any more crazier, but what they go and do is they pull another card or another death, like you said, which is sometimes a bit of a cheat, I feel. But at the same time, I don't mind it because I'm having so much fun with it.
I do like the reveal that they basically are treating the French dude, I forget his name. He's basically treating human beings, mankind, the same way hosts were being treated in the park. So you just see this whole warehouse full of...
So is the French guy dead? Or is he also in like one of those crates or whatever they're called? Because we've only ever seen him as a hologram.
So
we know that for sure, because I can't remember some of the first few times we've seen him, whether it was him physically. Like when he first met Maeve, and he did the thing, he pressed the button which froze her. So I think
right.
I thought you were talking about his brother.
No, his brother's probably somewhere.
Yeah. So he is, the French dude is still around. Yeah. I mean, he's in a physical body.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He's probably got the brother close to him, because why wouldn't you really? But yeah. I like the way that they've revealed how his master plan is basically enslaving the whole human race.
Is he enslaving so the way I see it, he's breeding out essentially the troublemakers.
Taking away choice. So it's still a form of slavery when you can't really think for yourself. It's still...
Yeah, but is it?
free.
Can you? Well, I didn't really get that you can't think for yourself, but I got like if you
Yeah,
don't.
because we saw when it was revealed, when everyone's path
Yeah.
got revealed, that they weren't free. Didn't have freedom in their life. Everything was planned for them, which his computer does. And
Yeah,
anyone that didn't fall into that,
I
got
don't
frozen.
get that because you can say that I'm going to commit suicide on this table now, but I'm the one that takes that choice.
Yeah, but you can
But
still
the-
nudge and push people.
Yeah.
You
But
can.
you don't realize how much you're probably brainwashed
Yeah,
already.
that's
Your
brainwash. That's the perfect way
your
to put it.
subconscious has been programmed by your friends, your peers, your teachers,
Like
your work.
Dan Brown. You ever watched the
No,
Dan
no,
Brown
no.
special, Mo?
That's not brainwashing. That's basically giving you the knowledge to make
Oh,
decisions.
You ever watched the Dan Brown special? The guy that manipulates people and makes them do, and you see these things where he gets people to rob a bank without them really knowing
Yeah.
what they're doing.
No, I've never seen
no,
that.
no,
But
no,
like
but-
having watched your favorite guy on YouTube, who now I think is a moron, I'm not entirely sure. I want to check that out.
Who's
What's his
talking
name? Joe Rogan.
No, it's nothing like that.
No. Yeah.
You never heard of Dan Brown, Mo?
I might have heard of the name.
No, but people actually do this stuff without actually realizing or
Okay, so there are an element of like there are stupid people in the world that you can talk into doing anything, right?
no, but that
No, Dan Brown. I'm stuck on this Dan Brown thing. But I've got to get into it. He's not a magician. He's what would you call him, Salem? What really is he? He's like a psychological.
Darren Brown is like, he mainly talks about hypnosis, doesn't he? So he hypnotizes.
Hypnosis, but also is not sitting down. Sometimes you can
No.
hypnotize people with
I
subtle
just
suggestions subconsciously.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his specials where he's able to get people subconsciously to do acts that they're not really aware that they're doing. Like I said, the bank robbery one, he gets people to rob a bank without really knowing that they're being manipulated to do so.
So this is stage stuff on TV.
The cameras are, but the people that are subjects are legit subjects.
As in they're like planted in the audience.
No.
As in they're getting like 50 quid right around the corner. Like, mate, do this.
I would love for Darren Brown to just sit with Mo.
I know. He's been doing this for decades, Mo. No one's come out and said he's fake, he's a bullshit artist. Well, decade.
He could get you to rape your cats.
So why the fuck would you go straight to like bestiality? Go from robbing banks to bestiality, you sick fuck.
Like, I would like to see Darren Brown on Zoom do that.
Hold on. Has Darren Brown like talked you into like falling in love with Riker?
Mate, listen, he didn't need to do that. I just watch it and I'm like, this is a good-looking dude. It's as simple as that.
I'm learning too much about Simon, man.
So you two are really positive about this, right? I think I'm going to echo something that Salem said there. I thought the episode was just too long. I think they could definitely do with a little bit of like trimming and editing to like keep that pace going.
10-15 minutes could have been.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah. I will say while the episode was enjoyable and the storyline was good, like the way I see it is like if I never see this like a repeat of this show ever again, I won't miss it.
Yeah, maybe not this episode, but they had to get their money's worth with. You probably don't know who the guy is, but his military friend, Kid Cudi, is a famous rapper. They had to get their money's worth with him, so I guess they really had to give him an episode where he actually got to do a little bit of something.
Oh, right. Is that? I didn't know that he was a rapper.
Yeah.
Right, okay. But would you do his like? I think the thing that this show does really well for me is that it makes me ask these questions when I walk away from the show. That's what I love about it. Really makes me think. Right.
How much would it take for you to kill me or Mo?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a question. Someone will give you like 100 quid side of you. Like, yeah, give it to me.
It's like how much did they pay you, Simon? Enough.
Titan Insurance will be a success after this.
That just showed his mate was stupid, right? Because as soon as like you start asking the questions, he should have just like popped
he took too long.
Yeah.
He took too long. He could have just
But at the same time, could it be that like when he asks the question, it's like he's your friend?
No, I mean the other way. As soon as like you asked the question, he should have like popped a cap in like Jesse Pinkman.
However,
maybe he was struggling. Maybe he didn't really want to.
However, maybe they wanted Jesse to be the one to pull the trigger. They didn't want the other dude to pull it. And that's another program. So I'm just saying. But anyway, see, he asks questions.
Yeah, see, it makes you think. That's what I like this show.
Yeah.
It makes you think. Even when you don't really love the episode, you still gets the cogs in your head ticking. I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, so what did you think of the fight scene?
Oh, where they had to stay in that little shack.
Or they
Every time they went out, they got. Yeah, I liked it because she had the helicopter thing, and the other one had the drone gun. Yeah, it's fun. It was cool.
Yeah.
Maybe,
And especially that, like,
ass kicked too much. What it remind me of something though, if I'm forgetting. Did Dolores do something to herself that made Maeve unable to control her?
Not that I'm aware of.
Because Maeve can control everybody, but she never does it to Dolores. So maybe Dolores has something.
Can Maeve actually control people outside of the simulation?
Well, she controlled that android in the factory to attack her. The first one that hit her in the back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So she has that ability. So what? Maybe something that we've forgotten that they addressed. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So another good episode. It's like, Mo, you're really not convinced by
Oh
this.
no, wait. Well, before we do that, like the that little shot to Dolores's arm, that was like a proper like moment.
Oh, they took the arm off.
Yeah, well, literally the arm's gone.
Oof, yeah, it looked good. That looked good. Oh, and we saw a return of one of the other hosts from the park. That was and the Japanese one as well. Two of them came back.
So that bit right at the beginning didn't kind of make sense at all, because you've obviously got Dolores in different bodies or some form of that sort of thing happening.
Yeah.
And then that other person turns up and says, Dolores's plan is to kill you all, right? So you would think that this person's alternative plan would be something else, but it's to kill them as well.
What?
So that Japanese chick that turns up at the beginning to talk to the Japanese guy says Dolores's plan is to kill you all.
The Japanese chick didn't talk to her.
No, but somebody was talking to him, right? Saying that Dolores's plan is to kill you.
Sacrifice.
But I'm here to kill you anyway.
Yeah, well, they just have them making conversation before they have to fight, you know? It's like, why are you doing this? She's just sacrificing you. I liked it. I thought it was cool.
All right, guys, you have literally got me for about 8 minutes before I go.
Right, okay. So the one piece of news that will probably interest you out of all of this, the AMC theater chain in the US, it has been outraged by comments that have been made by Universal's chairman. So Universal...
It's interesting to point out, because the article I read as well, that AMC, which I didn't know, owns Odeon.
So they own theaters in the US, in Europe, and the Middle East, right?
Well, I heard that this also affects Odeon as well, in what I read.
Yeah, so it'll affect any... Well, basically, outside the US, they're probably called different things. It's whatever chain they've bought up, right? And essentially, Trolls came out...
Is he breaking up for you as well, sorry?
He's breaking up. Mo, you're breaking up.
Am I breaking up?
Yeah.
You've both got Virgin, innit?
Right, am I back?
Are you with Virgin, Mo?
I am with Virgin.
Yeah, you've been hearing what...
Downloading something in the background or something.
Yeah, go on.
No, nothing. Right. So I am back, right? So essentially, Trolls on tour, world tour, whatever, came out as a digital-only release, and basically did about $100 million worth of business over a few days. So the chairman for Universal, without speaking to any of their partners, without going to their theater partners and saying, look, we're seeing this, we might want to change our business strategy, literally went and said, we think in future, some of our movies, not all our movies, will be releasing on the cinema and on VOD at the same time.
Aren't we talking about this for weeks, though?
No. So this literally just happened. So
but
AMC,
I mean, just generally, weren't we talking about that this was something that studios were saying they wanted to do anyway?
Yeah, no, but they're saying now they're going to do it whenever the world goes back to normal, we're going to lose some of our films are going to come out at the cinema and you can rent them at home at the same time. So so it basically takes the impetus away from going to the cinema for some films, right? So AMC.
Sorry, it looks like that he's just basically testing the situation to see what works better for them, right?
Right. So by saying that though, without saying going and speaking to like their big partners, AMC have said, you know what? We are not carrying any more of your films in any of our theaters. They are the biggest chain in the US. They own chains in Europe and the Middle East, right? So they basically say, oh, you want to put Fast and Furious 9 on 3,000 of our screens?
Yeah.
Not happening.
And what else have they got? What other franchises? They ain't really got much.
No,
Fast and Furious is their biggest one.
Jurassic Park is like the other one that they keep churning out movies for.
Yeah, I guess.
Universal is quite consistent. While they might not have franchises, their films are generally quite watchable.
Consistently
Guys,
forgettable.
But they have more quality control.
This could really, literally.
Oh, you won't be able to watch your Fast and Furious movie in the cinema again.
Oh no. That's Odeon, so he goes to Cineworld,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So you can still see it in Cineworld. So it's the other chains will still carry it, but like they'll be limited, right? So it's instead of having in the US, like having it on 3,000 screens is like quite a big thing. But if those 3,000 screens from one chain are gone, you're left with all the small individual little players. And who knows how many of those will be around once coronavirus is done.
So
You reckon that Vin Diesel has got on the phone and he's trying to call Universal and call AMC to like smooth this over somehow? Because you know that his ego ain't going to let this happen because he needs his movie to open everywhere.
Oh, we're talking about Vin, right?
Yeah, because he won't get those box office numbers if it ain't in name.
No way, man.
Absolutely, that's the thing. So watch this space. This is going to be like a really interesting development. It'll be interesting to see who blinks first, who can weather the financial loss.
So Vin is going to say, "Listen, I don't care about all the other films that Universal do. Just let mine be released on your cinemas."
And do you think if it stays, I suspect that this will be smoothed over and he'll apologize and say, "No, I ain't doing that" or something. But if it doesn't, do you think this could change release dates as well for other studios? Because
I would have thought
all these days are gonna be open, and it's like,
Yeah, but here's my thought, right? What could potentially happen is all the studios could get together saying, the theater chains have too much power in the distribution of our movies. If we all withhold our films, we can get them to cave to our terms. So there's that possibility, right? You know, you get your Disney, your Warner, your Fox. Well, I guess Fox is now part of.
See, the way I see it, then that basically means that my films, like let's say I'm with Bloomberg or something like that, or let's say I'm a Disney, right? Then that means those films could be released in their cinemas more.
Yeah.
So that means more running time for their movies. So
that's what I'm saying. That's why I changed all those release dates. So we wouldn't want to get together like fuck them.
Well, you would, right? Because you wouldn't want the theater chains to have that much power over you, right? So today it's Universal. Tomorrow it could be Disney. If they say, look, we held our guns.
Get on that well, though. I don't know.
They could. Well, yeah. Who knows? But you know what it says? War makes strange bedfellows.
Bedfellows, yeah.
Yeah. Watch this space. One really interesting story that's not up here that literally I saw before we started, and not quite like a movies and TV thing, but apparently there is a huge rumor going around. Vince McMahon is thinking of selling the WWE to Fox or ESPN because apparently he's had enough.
Yeah, that's been going around because there was a whole thing of it possibly getting sold to Disney a few months ago. But yeah, it's he's going through some issues right now.
Yeah,
there's
apparently
a lot of internal things that come out with people saying that he's losing it a bit. He's getting it, especially after having to shut down XFL again.
Well, the other day he did something like that. When I saw it, I was like, Vince doing that. He was like almost as if he was going to cry, and whilst telling Triple H and Shawn Michaels how much he loves them.
Oh, he does that a lot though. He does.
I don't watch wrestling that much, but I used to when I did. I never
behind the scenes, not on camera, but when it's a behind the scenes thing, he cries a lot, especially with Shane and all that.
So he's losing it a bit. So
more just erratic. I don't mean like necessarily crazy, but because things have failed so much right now, and there's so much because the Saudi Arabia thing as well has gone to shit, and he's getting sued by a bunch of shareholders in the company. have gotten together. Big companies that own shares have gotten together and they're suing WWE and him
What are they suing
because
him for?
he took money out of WWE, invested into XFL, and he didn't tell them that he was doing that. He didn't tell them, and they lied to them. Plus the Saudi Arabia stuff.
That's almost embezzlement, isn't it?
Accusing them, yeah. So it's bad time.
So it seems
bad
like
time.
the deal that Vince McMahon made with the
Saudis.
not with the Saudis. What's the devil called on the Crossroad Demon?
No,
coming to an end.
Payments due. Payment is due.
Yeah, interesting. I'm kind of surprised he's not willing to just give up the reins and give it to Shane and his daughter to let them run the company.
Triple H is the one he wants to give it. He should give it to. He's the only one that knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Shane's an imbecile. You don't really know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, true, actually. But then I guess Triple H would just make it all about himself.
No, because he runs. I don't want to get, because if you're not into it, then this is boring as hell. But he runs his own NXT one, and that's the best thing that they do.
Oh, right, okay.
So if he did the whole thing, it would be
interesting. Yeah, I just saw that, and I was just like, that's a piece of your childhood suddenly getting sold up to somebody else.
Yeah. It ain't good now.
Yeah.
So it could be a good thing. Get rid of it.
All right, dudes. I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll catch you a bit later on.
All right then, piss off. All right, Mo.
Right. So,
finally,
do you remember a TV show called Leverage?
I do.
It's getting a revival and is coming back.
Same people behind
it. So Christian Kane will be there. So Lindsay from Angel, and essentially what they're doing, even what's his name, Roland Emmerich.
The line is getting really bad again.
Oh, there.
Don't freeze. Stay alive. Shut down programs. No.
Hold on. Is that actually just the Entertainment Weekly TV? Is that back? Am I back?
You still keep talking.
Right, hold on. I think that might potentially have been the TV Dateline site.
There we are. Yeah.
As soon as I kill the tab,
there's a lot of flash things in the background.
Yeah, on that site. Right. Okay. Fine. So essentially, it's the same team coming back minus the main character, and I can't remember who's replacing him. But even Roland Emmerich is coming back as an executive producer, and from what I understand, it's coming to Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used to really like this show.
I was actually thinking because I've still been watching Psych, which I didn't really add into my what I've been watching because that's my secret.
Yeah,
Star Trek.
That's your Star Trek.
But yeah, I've noticed that's on there.
Yeah,
I was thinking maybe I should check that out.
It's a good little adventure show. It was like a modern day A-Team without like the violence. It was more of, well, it wasn't violence in A-Team, but A-Team was always done. Muscle solves the problem, whereas it's always hack into something, scam somebody.
It's in that same bracket of shows like Castle, like Psych. That's just easy watching that you don't really have to think about. Just throw on. Is it got the same showrunners though? Would it still have that same? Oh.
That's just Gizmo has just knocked my phone off. Yep.
But has it got the same showrunners?
From what? Well, yeah. So the obviously Roland Emmerich is coming back as an executive producer. He obviously won't have anything to do with the day-to-day stuff.
Running again because you're doing it again. No, come on, Mo, shut everything down.
Everything is down. There's nothing open.
Oh, well, we have to muscle through it.
It's probably like it's 8 o'clock. This is probably like peak time for Zoom for everyone doing Zoom calls.
Yeah.
Where they're like partners and family and all that sort of stuff.
There we go. All right. What we got next? Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Right. Okay. So War Hunt has just wrapped filming, right? So despite despite everything being shut down, this movie was filming in Latvia. So apparently they put a whole bunch of things in place. Now I'm going to try and open the story because I can't remember who the director is, but it is a big time director, and it's a World War II movie, right, where they go into a forest and basically run into a whole bunch of like witches. Imagine that, World War II, like, and literally it turns into like a horror type film. And who is the director? Oh, it's Mickey Rourke. That's it. So it's a World War II horror movie.
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke.
Director.
Directing.
The actor.
The actor.
That
Oh
guy
no,
with
hold on. Is he might be directing and acting in this, I think.
the man with the putty face,
Yes.
the wrestler. No,
So
this is going to be
it's a
terrible.
World War II fantasy drama.
This
But
this is straight to video. Then this is not even Amazon. This is like Shutter or one of them little apps that no one watches. I refuse to believe.
everything now is straight to video at the moment.
Yeah, but I'm talking like an app that no one sees, like some VOD thing online that no one really. Mickey,
No. But I just thought the story sounded cool, right? It's like a World War II movie, and then all of a sudden it turns into like a horror film.
Did you ever see or hear about the horror film where a bunch of hikers go up a mountain and they stumble across, I think, a bunch of frozen Nazis, but they're zombies?
No.
I forget what it was called. Frozen something. But yeah, I think they made like a sequel to it, and it was actually kind of fun. That could be cool though. I like that. If it's set in the Second World War and he's isolated witches. So what? So we're going to be on the side of the witches taking out the Nazis, or are they going to be the heroes?
Well, I don't think they're Nazis. I think they are literally allies who are in Germany fighting the Nazis,
Okay.
who then basically end up in a fight with witches.
I like that. I do actually like that. I might actually give that a look.
Yeah, it sounds like a really interesting plot line. And I guess the most remarkable thing is that they've actually been filming while everyone else has been shut down.
Yeah.
So apparently they did things like the makeup people started putting like makeup kits together for the actors. So like no one used the same products. Everything was like segregated.
Well, if they were so far out, then they were isolated basically.
Yeah.
In a small town. So
Yeah.
besides getting food, they wouldn't really have to deal with the rest of the world.
Yeah. Our next story. So the Oscars. So if you think about the fact that the pickings may be quite slim for next year, as in like no films are getting released, right?
They skip it.
No. So they are slightly changing the rules. They are saying if a movie had an intended release for the theater, but then opened on a streaming platform, it is eligible to be nominated for an Oscar.
Okay, so
so let's just say Trolls, right? Trolls was supposed to come out of the cinema.
When is the Oscars?
It'll be next March.
Oh, next March.
Next February, next March.
Lie then?
Huh?
What's the studios can lie then?
Well, no, because a lot of films have like these things done years in advance, isn't it? Like, you're not suddenly going to announce now a movie was going to come out in December.
But if it's next March,
yeah,
you can suddenly say that this movie that you have for streaming is like, oh no, we're going to give it cinema. Oh no,
no, because movies have like a cinema date years in advance, right? You have a date for when that movie is coming out.
Big ones, but maybe it's like a small indie that was only going to.
No. Even the little indie ones are like that as well, right? I guess unless you're like self-financing that movie and hoping an indie studio picks that up, but that's not really going to be nominated for like Best Picture type thing.
Because when like the festivals, all of that stuff, that aren't going to happen now. Damn, it could be tricky. Yeah.
Yeah.
There really is not going to be a lot though. I cannot.
No, it's Sonic the Hedgehog is going to be like movie of the year by default, right?
Everything, best action.
Yeah, I think even the Gentleman would have been considered as part of last year, right?
Yeah,
because that came out like in January.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, and the last story that I've got here is so Orange is the New Black's creators, right? Have basically come up with an idea for a show called Social Distance, and are basically going to create an anthology show about social distancing and have it all done remotely, right? So it's going to be basically the actors are going to be in their own home. They're going to videotape themselves, and each week it's going to be like a story about a different person.
That's going to be interesting.
That's a very, I did wonder when some people were going to start using this and kind of being more creative with what's going on, and will people start like creating content for these streaming services, high quality content, but like it's all done in their homes.
It is curious though how like when you really get down to like the technical aspects of it, of setting the equipment up
Yeah.
and making sure it's framed right and in focus, and like that's
Well, you can still have a director there, right? Directing through, like, because you can have all those feeds going through a laptop. Director can be sitting at the other end and going,
a lot
right,
of that. But a lot of that is physical stuff that you have to do when you're setting this equipment up.
oh yeah, but like
Lenses, the
literally,
equipment and the lighting.
but all that stuff, is a learning experience for the actor, right? Because all actors want to learn how to direct. That's a goal, right? Because you can only act for so long unless you're Tom Cruise.
Man, some people are idiots.
So, but yeah, you'll probably find the people they'll approach will be folks that are like self-sufficient, because that's what this is, right? You need a go-getter. You need to like have the equipment delivered to them. You need a guy or person who can assemble the lights, put up the cameras, do all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I guess someone will turn up in a hazmat suit and just set it all up and then
There
leave.
you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
It could
but
be
it's,
cool.
but it's interesting. I like that the fact that there are people out there thinking outside of the box now,
Yeah.
saying like, we're in this situation. How do we make money from it?
Yeah, I heard that they did something similar with American Idol or X Factor or something, where they just sent microphones and cameras to the contestants so they could do their auditions in their front rooms.
Yeah, but if you look at like all the late night talk show hosts, right? They're all doing all their stuff from home now.
Yeah,
It's so at work we've been talking about like how our boss is saying, basically when we return to work, he goes, the way you used to work on the 1st of February that's gone. He goes, that we will never go back to that. He goes, this has proved we don't need big buildings, expensive buildings to have all our staff in. I've got a feeling a lot of stuff, even in the entertainment industry, is going to change.
It's going to be fascinating, man. Like a year from now, it's just going to be fascinating what the state of everything's going to be. Everything's going to be different.
Everything's going to be different. So that's it pretty much for the news.
That it?
That is. There wasn't a lot of news this week.
No. Well, I guess everything is, eventually it was going to catch up to us. There just ain't much going on, man.
I think we just need to start watching a lot more stuff. I will say, listen to the Tarantino episode of like Pure Cinema,
Actually,
whatever it's called. He did talk about a lot of movies that I'd never heard of, but he discussed them with so much of passion that I really just want to go out and like watch every kung fu film ever made. But the thing is, they're talking about a lot of like 70s films that are probably potentially really bad, but only really enjoyable if you're watching them with a crowd in a cinema.
That's the thing. Like the ones that you mentioned, like 5 Element Ninjas and like and Flying Guillotines.
Yeah,
they're not like masterpieces. They're not.
No.
Yeah, there's no real big story to them, but there is a certain charm to the way that they're made.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised at how nice they look and how colorful.
Yeah.
Shaw Brothers, man. There's something about the way they made their movies. It was real.
Yeah. One thing I will probably review next week. I started watching it last night. Unfortunately, I ran out of time. Obviously, I wanted to get into I wanted to broaden my Hong Kong cinema. So I started watching a Stephen Chow movie from the 80s called Love on Delivery. It's on Netflix. No, it's on Netflix. So essentially, it's almost like not Shaolin Soccer, but it's kind of like, so he's a delivery guy who's a bit of a loser. And somehow he scores a date with this really beautiful, popular girl. But he gets into a fight with her, I think it's her judo teacher or taekwondo teacher. And he basically acts like a coward. So she rejects him because of that. So he basically goes out and stumbles into this guy who's a con artist who basically cons him out of all his money, but says, I'll teach you kung fu. It's like a typical Stephen Chow movie. Like, it's funny, it's ridiculous. Like, the concept is just ridiculous. There's a bit where he's queuing up to buy tickets for a concert. The queues are unruly, so the security guards are like hitting people with truncheons. They're shooting like machine guns to control the crowd. It's got all that like crazy stuff. Like, essentially imagine Shaolin Soccer, but slightly different.
What always surprised me about Chow, though, is he's actually pretty proficient physically.
Oh, yeah.
So is this got that decent action in it?
So
it's full comedy?
It's more comedy action.
Yeah.
So the bits there's things like when he actually has like his first encounter, proper fight, like the camera is cut in such a way that you're not really watching the martial arts. It's more of a comedy fight than anything else.
That's probably why he never took off the same way Jackie did.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Similar, but he just never got that. Yeah.
His proficiency is in comedy, but like I can appreciate that Hong Kong comedy is a little bit different from Western style. There's a lot of like fart and poo and shit stuff that probably doesn't come across well to Western audiences. But like apparently last night I was listening to the commentary track on Police Story 2, and they actually talked about that, and they said it like people eating dog poo wouldn't register as gross to a Hong Kong audience.
Oh fuck, it ain't good. This podcast, this pure cinema. I don't really want to publicize another podcast because all you really need is talking at the movies, guys. What you doing? But yeah, got Tarantino. A week before that, they had Edgar Wright, and the week before that, Tarantino again doing reviews of something or other. So he's been on there more than once, so that might be worth.
Yeah.
This is a lot of.
I'll have to check that out. I will say one of the things with this, I did find it was quite long. Tarantino did go on for a while, and because you've never heard any of the films, you might at some point get quite disinterested in it. But I listened to the whole thing, man. The guy is so passionate about film. Like the fact that he's talking about, like the fact he owns his own cinema and he does screenings where people just come in and he'll watch films with people.
I look forward to taking that test of whether I've heard or not heard some of these films. Most of them I probably wouldn't have, but
no,
yeah.
I think, and he doesn't really talk about Jackie Chan that much. Jackie does get mentioned, but they talk more about things like, he goes, this is a great Jackie Chan movie. This is like one of my favorites. And I'm like, I've never even heard of this one.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I never heard of that one either. Yeah, I gotta understand.
Yeah. So they really like that whole, where it's the old school period piece style kung fu flick.
That's why I do love the 80s sort of cop gritty Hong Kong based. I do love those, like the
yeah.
But I do actually have a separate love for the old period piece in the studio sort of ones that they did. I don't know why, the clothes, the whole weird setup, the fact that it was always the same set that they used over and over again.
Yeah, I'll need to get into a few of those. But I kind of got a feeling it's like most kung fu films seem to be funny unintentionally, like they're like more campy than funny, whereas I think Jackie really brought, like when he first started, they were trying to make him the Bruce Lee, right? So they were trying to give him like serious movies, and that just wasn't him. So it's the comedy in his films that makes his films enjoyable.
There's something special about that classic setup of the young guy who thinks he's a tough guy, gets his ass kicked, has to sneak out a master, or get sent to train with a master in the forest somewhere, and then comes back and gets revenge and kicks everyone. There's something dissatisfying about those films.
Criterion have announced a Bruce Lee box set where all these films have been remastered. And I was saying that I actually, when I got introduced to martial art movies, it was all through Bruce Lee, right? I didn't know who Jackie Chan was until I think like the early 90s. My first vivid memory of watching a Jackie Chan movie was Channel 4. They did like a month or a week of like kung fu movies.
I think that may be the same thing I saw first.
Yeah, I vividly remember watching like bits of like Wheels on Meals.
Yeah.
But like Bruce Lee was like, as far as I was concerned, like the kung fu guy, right? Because those were the films that we'd been exposed to. But I actually
became like a cultural phenomenon beyond just being an actor, movie guy.
Oh, absolutely. He transcended, like he was like a guy that was in Hong Kong, that went to America, that made up American movies that became popular the world over.
Yeah, definitely.
But I can't remember any of his films. Like literally, I remember bits and pieces of them, but I haven't seen them in so long.
Big Boss, Enter the Dragon, the Dragon.
All movies I've seen, but I haven't seen them since the 80s when I was a little child.
Wow.
I did see there's one is on either Netflix or Amazon. I think it might be like Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, I think that's the main one. I think that's the only. The other ones are mainly full-on Hong Kong ones, where Enter the Dragon was the one that had the Warner Brothers made.
Yeah. I was listening to something the other day, and it's something that rang really true, because I think like one of those films is like him in a like a tournament, right?
Yeah, Enter the Dragon.
Yeah. So essentially, that's like the template for like the Street Fighter game, like the Mortal Kombat.
That's exciting, man. It's mad though when you think of how big Bruce Lee is. He's only got like
3 films or something, 3 or 4 films. Yeah. One of them is incomplete, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So I will at the moment I'm not sure where to order it from, because obviously there's just all this stuff going on about the pandemic and stuff. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to like revisiting some of that stuff.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
So like a lot of my reviews going forward may be of like Hong Kong
Kung Fu.
cinema.
that's the new segment. We should give you your own little mini-sodes. You just talk Kung Fu.
Yeah. Mofu.
So, you got any letters this week?
So no letters this week, but we did have something pop in on our Instagram from Kamran. And yeah, so remember last week he asked the question of like what our 5 favorite futuristic movies are.
Yeah.
Now I've just realized if I go,
Oh, did we do that?
we did not do that. I said you need to think about it, and I bet you haven't thought about it, have you?
No, I forgot. I completely blanked.
You forgot about your homework.
We had no We had no reminders in the week.
That is just like quite a shallow little thing, right? He also sent us another mail this week saying, "Guys, can I have your top 5 animated series as well?"
Okay, I can do that. You gonna give your futuristic ones?
So I probably might need some more time to think about this, but there are the obvious ones, right? So you got like Blade Runner,
obviously,
because obviously they carved out. They're like one of the ones where you really think about. They carved out like a whole universe there, right? A whole pure living world.
Does it have to be live action?
I don't think it has to necessarily be live action.
Because Ghost in the Shell, maybe Akira also I saw those when I was really young as well, and I think those really had a big influence on how that whole cyberpunk aesthetic, which I love now. Yeah, they really fed into that. Back to the Future 2 count.
Oh, absolutely, right? Because they did design a whole future.
Yeah.
And that is we were talking about this on our Back to the Future minisode.
Yes.
Where it's very aesthetically still pleasing, even though it's now technically the past.
Yes. Check that out on the weekend, guys.
Yep. Star Trek, like that has to be right up there because they've got a whole future of their own, which is very drastically different from everywhere else, right? Where everything else is very dystopian, it's very dark, it's very downtrodden. Star Trek is very hopeful and optimistic. You don't want hopeful and optimistic.
Oh, it's not fun. It's boring.
No.
Torture. You want misery.
So does Star Wars count? Because technically it's set in the past, but it is very futuristic, and it is a design that is, again, quite unique to itself.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think that counts because it ain't really our future necessarily. It is some other place.
How do we know it? How do we know it's not our future? Because by the time light reaches us from that galaxy,
it says in the opening crawl, in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, it says a long, long time ago, but like that might be in our future still.
That was good. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna remember. We're gonna remind each other in a week that we're as well as the anime series.
Animated series. I'm not entirely sure what to put there because most of mine will probably be anime shows because there are no animated series that I follow now, like on a regular basis.
No, man, all time. It's fine.
So all-time favorites.
Futuristic movies. We're gonna do 5.
5 of each.
Okay, yeah. So we'll remember this time. We'll remember. Drill it into our brains. So Mo, if they want to get in contact with us, how can they do so, sir?
Folks, if you want to email us, we are at tatmpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to tweet at us, we are TalkingMovies3. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, we are Talking at the Movies.
That's right. Guys, check out the Voltron Network on YouTube. Just Voltron Network. That's our YouTube channel. You can check out this video and DC versus Marvel podcast.
I was going to say, there is something odd about the search of our YouTube channel. If you type in Voltron and Network, it doesn't bring it up. You have to type in like Voltron Network as one word.
That's weird. I don't know why that. Because there's already one that has it as.
Yes. So if you type it as 2 separate words, it brings you up someone else's channel.
Yeah, bastards. But just look for the V. You'll find us. So for me, Idris.
For me, Mo.
And it was Salem, but he's gone doing something. Breaking his fast. We'll see you guys next week.
Cool, folks.